And I'd like to introduce to you our CEO, Fran Gallati.
Thank you, Julie. Hi.
Hi. Fran, we're going to be asking you a few questions to get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's get started. Okay, so Fran, tell us a little bit about your background.
So I'm from the East Coast, and I spent the first 26 years of my life on the East Coast. I went to college on the East Coast. My first job, professional job, was the Greendale Family Branch YMCA on the East Coast as youth director. And then in 1991, I decided to take a cross-country bike trip.
Wow.
And in the summer of 91, after riding 3,000 miles, and I was about 20 pounds lighter, much better shape, and I had no gray hair, I crossed the Golden Gate Bridge and I entered into the Bay Area, and I thought the instant I crossed it, I've got to move out to the Bay Area. And so I did.
Is this when you started working at the YMCA here?
Well, I knew about the YMCA, and on the bike trip, which was really fascinating, we went from state to state. I biked with people from all walks of life, doctors, lawyers, people who own companies, and I was amazed at how unhappy these people were. And they had all the money in the world, but their work was not satisfying. So the bike trip was sort of a quest, if you will, and I wanted to find out what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I realized how happy I was making a difference in my youth work at the YMCA. So crossing the Golden Gate Bridge, I had a couple of ideas in mind. One was, I want to be in California. This looks amazing. And the second was, I think I really want to make a career run at the YMCA and see if I can make an impact. I applied here and in Santa Clara and in San Diego at the Jackie Robinson YMCA. I'm a big baseball fan. I had never seen that Y, but I somehow got to be a final candidate through phone interviews. But when they offered me the job in Berkeley, I took it. Berkeley, back then, Berkeley was a lot different. It was really progressive. Everyone knows it nationwide. And it was just sort of calling out to me. And so I took this job. And my first day at the Berkeley Y was October 1, 1991.
So what are the top priorities here at the YMCA?
They've shifted a little bit over time, and it has to do with the need in the community and what we're really good at doing. So the YMCA of the East Bay, which is our new YMCA, is focused on three key priorities. Yes. The first one is early childhood impact. And at the moment, we have 21 early learning centers in lower income communities. We've got an amazing opportunity to help kids get off to a great start. What a lot of people don't know is that kids who don't have resources end up in kindergarten knowing thousands of less words than kids who have resources. They start off kindergarten already light years behind those other kids. Socially, emotionally, it's the same thing. So we've got a big opportunity in our early childhood impact work, and that's one of our key priorities. And we want to get great, and then we want to expand that work. Our second priority is out of school time, and the YMCA is known for its youth work. Our particular bent is really working with kids on school campuses right after school, tutoring, quasi-parenting, making sure they're eating nutritious snacks, and making sure the otherwise most dangerous hours between 3 and 6 are the healthiest hours of the day for these kids. So that's our second priority. And our last one, and this is what people know us for, they know us for gym and swim, is all about healthy living for all through membership. And we've got 5 terrific membership centers where we want to make a big difference in the health of people's lives. It's really interesting right now, we live in a time where health clubs across the country have proliferated, yet diabetes and obesity keeps creeping up. But we do know that at the YMCAs, when we do our best work, people get healthy. So we can have a big impact on the health of our local communities.
And is this what motivates you as a CEO?
Actually, you know, it does motivate me, those 3 priorities. But what else motivates me is when I go out and I watch the great work that our people are doing, when they're really on point and making the kind of difference that we all dream about, that's incredibly motivational to me.
Thank you. Those are amazing things, and I'm very, very excited to be part of that. Which brings me to my next point, is that in my new higher orientation, I recently learned that we have YMCAs all across the world, which for me was like amazing. I was just like, really? So that's what I wanted to learn more. And I want to ask you, how do we make a difference, not just in our community, the YMCA, but also across the world and the nation?
Well, that's a great question, Julie. And it is something that that I think makes the YMCA really unique. On the one hand, we really focus our key priorities around what our local regions need. So that's why we chose our 3 priorities. But we've got YMCA presences in countries all over the world. And then sometimes it might mean that we're helping improve the water supply. It might mean that we're actually on reservations and helping educate young Indian kids. So it could mean a myriad of different things depending on where that YMCA is. It could be in sub-Saharan Africa. It could be in China. And the needs are all a little bit different based on the different continent. So it's pretty amazing to think that we're not only making a difference here locally, but it's rippling throughout the whole planet.
And what would you say is our vision for the YMCA here?
Well, our vision is to do the highest quality work in the 3 spaces that we're in. So in early childhood, we want to make sure we're supporting the efforts of our teachers to do great work. And that really is amazing work in the classrooms, and we get the families what they need. In our health and fitness centers, it would be to make sure that everyone that walks through our door with a desire to become healthy actually gets a plan, a support, is motivated so they can achieve their goals. And in out of school time, that's where I think we've got a huge impact to shape young people. And we never know what different paths kids want to take, but we want to make sure that we help them grow and develop so they can make good choices when they get older, and maybe someday they'll come back and give back to the community.
That's extremely inspiring. And as new employees, how can we contribute?
Well, that's another great question, and I want to think about that a little bit differently because our work is all about people, and it's all about relationship building, and it's all about being reliable. We're in all these places where I think people have a desire and a goal. So the first thing that I think new employees could do is, get the basics right. The basics. Every day, show up on time, be ready, and really focus on the people that you're there to serve. That might sound really elementary, but it's amazing, how many times you go out there and in your own experiences, whether folks are late or their service is off for a little bit, or it's not just what it could be. The second thing is become amazing at what you do. Become amazing at what you do. Don't settle for average. If you're in the classroom, or if you're in a health and fitness center, or if you're in the teen center, we're in the teen center right now, try and do inspiring work with the people that you're serving. And I think that will lead to personal growth for you, personal satisfaction, and then it becomes a virtuous growth loop for you and for our participants.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed learning a little bit more about you and about the company that I work for. So
Great.
Thank you.
And it's great to have you on board.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.